So he was like creating girl bosses like all over the globe. That's kind of Genghis Khan's legacy in a way.
Are you trying to invert the take on Genghis Khan and make him sort of an icon of feminism? I don't know.
Yeah, ahead of his time.
Yeah.
he was certainly something. I don't know if he was necessarily better for I don't know if that was
well, you know what? Good for him. That's all I'll say.
Good for Genghis Khan.
Good for old Genghis.
Genghis? Welcome to Oops, All Segments, the very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I'm your host, Kevin.
I'm Thomas. Kevin just put on a suit. How did you do it so fast?
Well, I think it's time that we get serious, Thomas. Things have been a little too silly for too long on this show.
You surprised me. If you're listening, nothing changed. But if you're watching, Kevin stepped out of frame, put on a suit at an alarming rate. And I think it's to welcome our very special guest, a comedian from White Rhino Comedy, Wayne Jones. Welcome, Wayne.
Hey, thanks for having me. I feel like Kevin is one of those things where you just pulled off the last thing you had and that suit was underneath.
Yeah,
it's the only way you could have done it.
I was hoping to be naked underneath, but it turns out this is just what I was wearing. It's also, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to look in the camera, but it is sort of ill-fitting right now. Doesn't it look like I'm like disheveled a little bit? I mean, I always.
Yeah, it looks like this looks like an Eric Andre bit where like you tore off your suit, you were naked, and then people ran up to put a new one on you really hastily.
Yeah, that's what was happening. I have a staff of about 40 people just running around. The Oops All Segments team that's based in Winnipeg. Wayne, welcome to the show. How are you? What's new in your life?
Good. I just want to comment on your suit a little more. I feel like you're about to sell me life insurance or like a timeshare somewhere, but like the pitch is so bad that it's no part of the pitch is am I ever into it?
Yeah. Yeah, we these things are moving like hotcakes, so you got to get them now. You got to get them right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like hotcakes. Like nobody moves hotcakes anymore.
Yeah, they're moving like hotcakes. Yeah, no one sold a hotcake in 30 years. What's new in your life, Wayne?
The life insurance guy who also is going to give you the disease that kills you. Like he's got both.
100%. That's exactly what I'm getting. My life is great. Everything is going good. I just got back to Edmonton. I have a show here on the weekend. Yeah. Was just in Toronto. Did like a whole bunch of comedy shows over the last few days. That's been great. Going to the Oilers game tonight. Big hockey fan, so excited about that. Was supposed to have a date tonight. Like I had a big date lined up and it was all good, but she texted me early in the morning like, "Hey, I'm sick. I got the sniffles.
She heard you were doing this show and she was like,
she heard about the podcast. Yeah, this happens a lot. I'm so sorry.
That'll happen a lot.
This is how everybody intros their segment, right? I had a big date and then I was on this podcast with the girl.
Our track record of jilted guests is incredibly high. Like people who were just left standing at the altar, come straight to the studio to record with us. It's good.
It's a vibe that we like, is sort of disappointment and rejection sort of lingering in the air.
Well, it's a comeback story, right? And then you get the comeback story. So
yes, exactly. Yeah, you start from a position.
So hopefully, if you reschedule and the date does happen, you can thank us. So you're welcome.
Exactly.
Thank you. I did say I'm going on a podcast right now, and I got her going. I got some emojis back and stuff like that. So
okay, I guess actually I could take a fucking Dayquil and meet you.
yeah, that could happen. We're almost on a date. We're almost on a date via text now.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I feel like I salvaged it a bit, but I'm gonna take my buddy instead to the game, and I told him he has to buy me dinner. So
there we go. Yeah, so you're sorted.
I'm the date. I'm the date now.
Yeah, you're being the datee. The datee. That's good. So T-Bone, what's new with you, buddy?
For my check-in, everything Wayne said, just flip it and reverse it. My life is bad. I'm not doing comedy shows. I did have a really nice date today, but otherwise life is shit. So I'm kind of nothing. I hate hockey. I'm not a sports fan, and if I were, I wouldn't get to go because I don't have the cash. I don't have the sort of stick-to-itiveness to even book the tickies.
Yeah, no one calls them tickies either.
Yeah. So yeah, and Thomas hates hockey as well.
Yeah. So I need to go on a jog.
Oh. Yeah.
Just feel like need to get my heart rate up.
Why?
Like I've been just like flatlining for about a week.
Flatline. That means you're dying.
Like
right?
Just, you know how when you're sort of in a state of meditative, like your whole heart rate, your whole body sort of slows down, shuts down. You get clammy, you get cold. Like your breathing slows. You like can't see, like blurry vision. Like ears sort of go cauliflower mode. Like I've been in that sort of state of total Zen, total Buddha.
Wait, it doesn't sound good, but you're saying it like it's good now.
You know, like your hair will like fall out if you touch it or like tug on it a little bit.
I think
like,
you
that's
have
kind
like
of
a
like
really bad disease.
Yeah, this sounds autoimmune to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound healthy.
Well, like
and you shouldn't
but
be
you know
leaving
how
the
like
house.
when you're like but like if you go to a spa for a while, like your fingernails will fall out, like your toes will curl. Like
no, man, that's not supposed to happen.
That's the morgue.
Lose the ability to maintain like sort of body excretions won't be under your control anymore.
Yeah, I think
like,
you're dead.
It sucks to find out this way. It sucks to find out on the show. I'm going to seek a real doctor who actually knows something. But thank you for your, I Googled it. Oh, my fingernails are falling out. It must be cancer. Like, thank you, Kevin. But I'll actually trust the opinion of an expert. How are you?
Me, I'm fine, man. I'm doing good. Life is okay. I don't. So I did something kind of crazy recently. I've been working very hard at trying to get my restaurants kind of up and get their feet underneath them for the winter, get themselves prepared. And Dreamland Diner, we make like really great milkshakes there. I have just started selling milkshakes with booze in them, which is maybe the craziest thing that's ever been invented.
Okay.
So
now the ill-fitting suit is starting to track.
Yeah. So yesterday we did product testing. And I got fucking smashed doing product testing.
Did you finish all of the milkshakes?
Well, you want to make sure the flavor is consistent, right? Because because what you don't want is for someone to be drinking it and then the last 10% to be not good. You want the whole 100%. You wouldn't
also want to spend even 5 minutes alone with your thoughts. So like you had to finish.
Yeah, no, heavens no.
Fucking tequila mint chocolate chip shake.
Exactly. I need to keep it away from me as long as I can. No, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm really busy.
Yeah,
life is good.
You're trembling.
Yeah, well, everything is fucking fine, okay? I'm doing
What
good.
kind of alcohol did you put in the milkshakes?
Kahlua and Bailey's were the two ones that I did, which I thought were sort of obvious choices. I also have rum chata. I might try to do something with rum chata, which is like a coconut liqueur. I don't really drink anymore. So, like, I drink, like, on occasions, on very specific occasions, but also apparently at, like, 2 p.m. at work when you're trying to product test. So, yeah, yesterday I got drunk at work.
Nice.
Cool. It wasn't so bad.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
you know. Yeah, it's not so bad.
You shouldn't drink alone. You should only drink at work, I think. It is time for our warm-up segment. Wayne, how has the beginning of the podcast been for you?
It's been eye-opening. It's been eye-opening, Thomas, to know that you're not even here with us in body and spirit.
Yeah.
I'm alive. It's just like some of my eyelashes had to be drawn on because so many of them just dropped off my head today.
I just also want to cycle back to something here because when Wayne was doing his sort of check-in, we really got the vibe that he's like a man on the go, sort of.
Yes.
And Wayne, I thought it might be a good idea to. I only met you like less than a month ago, around a month ago, and when I met Wayne, he was in town for the Winnipeg Improv Festival, and the night Wayne drove into the city in a truck with some very expensive tires in the back of the truck, and if you don't know anything about Winnipeg, there's a high rate of...
you can just Google Freedom Convoy and it'll basically explain what Kevin's about to set up.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is Wayne was a member of the... No, I'm trying to say that Wayne had the tires in his truck. He was worried about them being stolen out of his vehicle for the majority of the evening.
Valid.
So I think when I met Wayne, he was underslept. Very, very afraid, sort of...
On edge.
On edge.
The terrified, exhausted man. You gotta do the show.
So I just want to say you're doing well, Wade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But the sleep hasn't got any better, but the rims are in a safe location now.
Okay, good.
Hell yeah.
And that just means not Winnipeg.
Yeah.
That's all that means.
That's every time out of the city.
That's all that means. They're rolling down the street, but they're not in Winnipeg.
Then had they been in Winnipeg. Yeah.
But, in the prairies, you can watch your tires get stolen for 3 days before they go over the horizon.
That's correct. That's the old joke.
Walk away for 3 days. Thomas, I'm going to spin the wheel. You ready?
I thought our warm-up segment might be a little bit of a theft update.
Theft update. That's right.
Oops, all segments. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a really good name for a show. We should low-key steal that.
Oh.
And they did. Those fuckers taking a smear.
That Taking a Steal have once again robbed us of our idea. Week after week, legendary comedians Jake and Amir, our heroes, have started a new podcast called Segments, Wayne. About 8 months ago, we submitted a plug for our podcast. Then that quote you just heard was them saying they should steal it. And they did.
They talked about stealing our idea for about 10 minutes. Then 6 months later, lo and behold, they have a show called Segments where they do a bunch of segments. Now, I sent them a message. They told us they would give us a shout out. At the time of recording, episode 3 of Jake and Amir's Segments has come out, and they still haven't fucking done anything!
No shout out.
Fuck!
Wow. But this is like they guaranteed took your idea, like they admitted it on air.
They have not admitted it, but they said that they intended to as a joke 8 months ago when we plugged our show. And then less than a year later, they launched their new show.
Now, Wayne, you might
premise.
You might not have quite. You might think that that's reasonable, parallel thinking. Maybe even that they didn't.
Two shows where you do a bunch of random shit. That doesn't sound like stealing to me, does it, Wayne?
But
where is the timeshare, Kevin? I just want to know what island. Yeah. What island am I going to? You won't tell me.
I won't tell you because the thing is, Wayne, people keep taking everything from me. I have nothing left. So yes, I've taken to selling timeshares. If Jake and Amir continue to steal our ideas, I'll only be selling timeshares. I won't be selling
milkshakes. Here's what I think. I'm sure they're very busy. Yes. They might not have time with everything going on, managing headgum.
They run a whole podcast network.
But you know what I have to say?
What's that?
I watched The Shining recently, and I realized something about their little company. Headgum. Right? Read that backwards because we've been mugged. Ah! That's how it sounds backwards.
Is that like your red rum-esque?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Headgum. It's the Danny
from
and Danny Phantom actually because we've been ghosted by the legends themselves.
What I
Maybe they're too busy counting their money.
Okay. Okay.
What I want to know is, you said the shout out when you shouted out your show. So were you like on there? Like, what do you mean on their show? Yeah. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the.
It's reasonable that you have no fucking idea what we're talking about.
If we give you too many details, the whole dang shit falls apart. So we got to keep it vague as hell. But
okay.
8 months ago, Kevin, legendary musician, created a theme song for their show. If you create a theme song, they'll plug whatever the fuck you want. So Kevin plugs Oops All Segments. Come listen to our show. They do a little riff sesh being like, that's such a great idea. We could steal it. They wouldn't even
so
be
this is
able to
100% theft then. This is 100% theft.
That's what I'm fucking
there
saying.
It is.
I'm on board, guys.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yes. Wayne's going to pull up to Headgum Studios with his fucking truck. And
they're in trouble now. They're in trouble now.
That's what we needed. That's what we needed. Let's spin this wheel, T, and get this
We're not actually
rolling.
Mad, guys.
No.
We're just kidding.
I am.
Here we go.
Yeah, Wayne's pissed. That's okay. Every episode, we're going to indoctrinate our guest into our army and conscript them.
Tuned out. Participants discuss the worst song they've ever heard.
Oh, okay.
This could be fun. We could also do a share situation so that the listeners get to hear a sample.
Yeah.
I know mine.
I know mine as well.
I've already decided it, but I feel like it shouldn't go first because it's so awful.
I need to go last. I need to think about this. I need to
Okay,
go last.
I will go first. How about that theme song I made for Jake? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the worst song I've ever heard. I remember once I was driving from Edmonton to Winnipeg. I was in my early 20s maybe, and there was a rock song that came on the radio, which astonishes me that this was on the radio, but it had to have been. I was on a road trip with some friends, and the song is called Daily Dose, and it's like a heavy alt rock song, and the chorus is, "Did you get your daily dose of fellatio?" and it kind of just repeats that.
I'm hoping that Googling this will. Okay, wait a second. I was trying to Google it so that we could all listen together.
Yeah.
And I just want to show you guys what came up because it's pretty good.
Okay.
Let's see. We got, is it okay to perform fellatio every day on Quora? Let's see the answers.
Love that
here.
question.
Totally fine to give a blowjob every day. It's like giving a massage to a part. But remember, before the job, clean and keep it very hygienic for the one taking it in mouth. Stay healthy and happy. Peace. Thank you, Donna Sekar from India.
Donna knows their shit. Listen, I heard recently that dentists,
oh my God.
Your dentist can tell if you've given fellatio.
They can tell ever or that day.
I mean, I think recently probably.
Yeah, if you have a bunch of semen on your shirt, they can tell.
Yeah, if your teeth are covered in cum.
Yeah. So Robert Shoel says, not just okay, it's fantastic. What most guys can only dream about. If you have this going for you, why waste time on Quora? You've got better things to do. And doing you also. Kim Lowe, who says, have sucked cocks of all shapes, color, and sizes, says,
what are you
it's
doing?
like asking whether it's okay to suck a lollipop every day. In my younger, hornier days, I suck more than one dick daily. I have not suffered any setbacks or disease. I am still as sane as ever, as healthy as a lark, and as happy as can be. Maybe a little less happy now that I am 63 and having less willing cocks in my mouth. This is disgusting. I can't believe that you put me down this rabbit hole.
I didn't do anything. You did that. You did that.
Wayne, do you have a song yet? You've been.
Is this still the song? Is this still the song segment?
We're back on songs.
Oh, what's the matter? Did this feel not related to music in any way, shape, or fucking form? Yeah.
Do we want to play that song, Kevin, or is it too hard?
I'll see if I can find it. I don't remember what the band was called.
Way, but
yeah,
I can't find the song I wanted to play either. So.
When you Google Daily Dose Fellatio in YouTube even, there's just nothing that you want to see. Same idea. So, yeah, I can't find it anymore.
It's got to be Daily Dose rock songs, but you got to try.
Yeah, you're right.
Rock song.
Wayne, are you in this band by chance?
Listen. Yes.
I wish I could remember the name of the band. Yeah. But I don't remember rock song.
The Daily Dose. No, I'm trying to find it. This is not it. This is
25 songs about oral sex that don't suck.
The one I was thinking of, I thought there was a Frank Zappa song called The Devil's Saxophone, and it was just like random discordant notes on a saxophone for like 11 minutes, but it doesn't seem to exist. So I don't know if I made that up or what. But that was the one I was gonna show.
That's the song that plays in your head when you're getting a blowjob, right?
Right. Yeah. And then I have to listen to the remaining 9.5 minutes after I come.
There's a good chance that this was some obscure Canadian band.
So. Because I can't find them. Yeah. I don't think it exists.
And that was their one shot. That was the one time their single was ever played. And then the DJ took the CD out and broke it in half. It does not exist. It never made it to the internet.
Yeah, that was their final swing at the fucking can.
One copy was made and it burnt into your head for eternity.
Yeah, it's true.
Something that can be funny is...
wait.
Yeah.
This is not it. But I found a song. God, I'm so sorry, Wayne. I found a song, the title of which is Daily Dose of Disappointment. The band name, however, Hyman Holocaust.
Whoa.
It's the worst thing I've ever said. It's
Honestly,
the worst thing that's ever come out of my mouth.
Honestly, not the worst name.
It's the alliteration is there.
Alliteration, yeah. Alliteration, like.
You're a supportive guy. You're a supportive guy.
I'm trying to stay positive.
Okay, I can't find this song. I don't think it exists. It's probably just playing in my head forever. If you're listening out there and you know the song Daily Dose by whatever the band is called, send it to us at oopsallsegments@gmail.com or on one of our social medias and we'll look at it.
We'll play it. We'll comment on it.
Play it,
We'll
we'll
go
comment
on the
on it.
wheel.
Do the whole thing. Yeah. Wayne, do you have a song that you're like, this is the worst song I've ever heard of?
So that's a hard question. I feel like there's been a number of songs, and if I would have been
like a
prepared for
memory.
this, yeah. But when I went, like, where my mind went was to the rapper Lil Pump.
Sure. Yep. Lil Pump.
And the song Gucci Gang.
Yep. Gucci Gang.
Gucci Gang. When that came out,
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I went, that was one of those moments where I was like, there's been all these moments, and I don't know if you guys like rap, but I'm a rap fan, hip hop fan. There's been these moments over the years where you've realized that it continually is getting worse, right?
Yes, that really.
That was a pivotal point for me where I was like, not only is it younger people are into this, cool, that's great. I understand if they're into something different, but this is just objectively trash.
It was bad. Yes.
It was bad. And he got famous. And he still may be famous, but I feel it's more like for the look and the trash and everything.
Yeah.
And I am okay with bad lyrics and bad whatever if I can get into it, but I could not get into it. So when you asked me this is where I went. I Googled Lil Pump and I went, yes, this Gucci Gang. And I'm sure that's probably his best song. So
I mean, the
take
lyrics to the chorus.
Take any other one and they're probably worse.
Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, and then in the background, Gucci Gang. And then Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. In the background, once again, Gucci Gang. Spend 10 racks on a new chain. My B do love do cocaine. Oh, what's happening? Oh, Thomas has got it. Here it is. Yeah, so this is a terrible song. Here we go.
That's it right now.
In case, so before he's even started singing, he's already said the title, which we're gonna get a whole
now we're all just gonna get into it.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Spread their racks on new chain. My bitch love do cocaine. Ooh, I fuck a bitch. I forgot.
See, he loses me.
Yeah. Honestly, though, we probably are gonna get shut down now because you did that.
That was kind of fire.
Yeah.
For
The
me.
beat
I
is
liked
hard.
it.
The beat is hard.
Yes. Yeah. No shade to Niels and Big Head who produced that song.
No, love those guys. Love those guys.
Niels and Big Head are great producers, but
Big
Lil
fan.
Pump, who once dissed J. Cole, might I add. Yeah. No, that is a terrible song. You're not wrong. I used to DJ in clubs a lot, and everybody used to go crazy for that song, even though it's not a very good one. Thomas,
Yeah.
do you think we need to talk about another show?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll be right back with Wayne's segment.
Normally there's a sound here, but I lost it. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Josiah.
and we're the co-hosts of a weekly podcast called How Star Wars Is It?
On our show, we rate and review things on a scale of 1 to 10, but not of how good or bad they are, but of how Star Wars they are.
We've covered lots of movies, from The Matrix to Guardians of the Galaxy to all the Star Wars films, but we've also reviewed things like pumpkin spice lattes, Halloween, moving, burgers.
We've got over 150 episodes, and you don't have to listen to them all. You can just find the ones that look interesting and listen to those. There's no plot, there's no continuity. You don't have to worry about that. Okay? So if that sounds fun to you, tune in to How Star Wars Is It every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
How Star Wars Is It?
How Star Wars Is It? We
We
love you, and may the 4th be with you.
We have returned. Wayne still hasn't bought a timeshare for me, but perhaps. Do you have a segment for us by chance?
So when you asked me to prepare a segment,
Yes.
It terrified me.
Sure.
As it does all your guests, just so you know.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure to perform. I went through all the usual things in my head, would you rather, this or that, all these type of things. But I think I've settled on something. I'd like to hear a story from each of you. And what I'd like the story to be about is a time in your life when you feel like you've got like an incredible hookup somehow. Like somebody gave you free tickets to something, or you met somebody and you got snuck in a VIP area somehow, or somebody called you last minute and there was this awesome opportunity. Because I feel like those moments in life are really cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to know if you guys have any of that stuff or any moments like that in your life, because those are exciting to me. And I just, I want to know.
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. It reminds me a lot of Thomas and I recently saw Ben Schwartz and friends performing at the Chicago Theater about a month or two ago, and their ask for in the show was tell us about the greatest night of your life, which I feel like this kind of makes me feel like similar vibes. So like I like that. Yeah.
I feel like Kevin will have way more examples of getting the hookup than I do. I'm trying to. I'm genuinely like racking my brain. I have one memory from when I was pretty young, which I might use. But go ahead, Kevin.
Do you want me to go first? I can think there's a couple of situations where that's happened, but I think honestly, Thomas, you're actually kind of involved in this one. But I got sort of this like weird opportunity through Thomas to perform, and you honestly will probably know the details better than I will, T, about how this all happened, but performing at the Edinburgh Fringe in general.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, like so Thomas back in the day performed with the Oxford Imps, which is like the improv group out of Oxford University, and they had they always do the Edinburgh Fringe, right? There's like sort of they're constantly there. So I was going out there to travel to go visit Thomas and watch him perform, and I was really excited. And then when it was all booked, he was like, also, I've gotten us like a slot in a show. And so we got to do, Thomas and I have like a hip hop rap improv show, or at least back then we did.
Interesting.
And so, yeah. And so we did like a live rap improv show. The funny thing about it was like, so it was the Edinburgh Fringe, so it was like busy no matter what. People were just there. But I think there was like a child in the audience, wasn't there, T? And wasn't like back then our songs were like not kid friendly. Right?
Yeah. It was definitely a weird, I can't even quite remember what the show was, but it was like a kind of comedy showcase that maybe one of our friends was involved in, so we were just able to do a slot at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was really cool. That's like the one that's like cute and fun, and I can remember I got to meet Nas and be on the stage at the MTS Center before he came out.
That's amazing.
I got to perform on stage with, I think, the now canceled rapper Hobson and crowd surfed. I think I've talked about that story on the podcast.
Is he canceled? Before. Interesting.
I don't know. He might have been. And like I've gotten to do. I've opened for a lot of rappers through hip hop. I got to do a lot of cool stuff. I got to open for Juicy J and I think MGK I opened for once, and I got to end up with a few cool things like that. And yeah, I've when I was 17, I got let into a strip club for the very first time.
Here we go. Now we're getting to it.
Yeah, you know what? Here it is. This is actually a great story. This is a great story. So I was videographing a wedding. I was 17 years old. My brother's friends were getting married. They wanted someone to videograph it. I used a little digital video camera to record their wedding. It was terrible quality, I'm sure. And they, on the night of the wedding rehearsal, which is where I was setting up, they decided that they wanted to give the bachelor a real bachelor party because his bachelor party was shitty. So my brother and the close friends were like, we're all going to go to Gentleman's Club. Doesn't exist anymore. It's a strip club in Winnipeg. I think it's called like Solid Gold now or something. My family was friends with the owners. My brother calls my dad on his way to the strip club. He's like, I know Kev's 17, but I'm taking him into the strip club. My dad's like, I don't want him there. Risha's like, that's weird. Dad's like, no, don't bring him there. And it's kind of out of my dad's, like, it's not normal for my dad to be that restrictive about stuff like this.
It isn't, but also it's not that weird, I don't think.
But
for a dad to feel like, nah, that's not that weird.
I gotta put my foot down. I gotta put my foot down at some point. right?
Yeah, take them, get them fucked up.
Yeah. And my dad was like, no, I don't want him there. And Rich hung up the phone and he's like, that's super weird. Just don't tell Dad. We're going to go. I said, okay. We get inside, walk into the strip club. The owner shakes Rich's hand, lets us in, walk in. As soon as I walk into the strip club, see first time in my life, tits in real life. Cool. Women's breasts. That's fun. And then also my dad and my mom just in the same strip club as me.
Oh.
And now
It's
you're
all
like, now I
coming
get it.
together.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just also in the strip club. So yeah, that's the time I got hooked up with, and my life was awesome, Wayne. That's the time.
Awesome.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'll do one kind of like, both stories aren't the most positive, but they felt big at the time. It was one where I think I was like maybe 18-ish. And it was one of the first times in my life, maybe the only time in my life, where a friend of mine was like, my friend likes you. And I was like, holy shit, like someone is interested in me. I don't have to be the pursuer and all this stuff. I was all excited. And just it happened that week, Kevin and I were doing some plays in Winnipeg for like a high school playwriting festival. And I don't want to blow up the spot, but like it was not the proudest moment of my theatrical career. It wasn't a great piece of writing. It's written by a teenager.
It was not good.
Later, and so she saw that, and then later that same week I did stand up for the first time, and she also saw that. Like again, this was prior to us like talking about potentially going on a date or anything like that. And I was just like,
this is your showcase. This is your showcase.
Come check
who
me
I
out.
am.
And then she like, it was just the worst role reversal, because after that, she ghosted me. Like I was sort of being like, hey, like, do you want to hang out sometime? And then she just kept being like, yeah, I'm busy. It was like, I had everything here and I blew it just by showing her who I really was.
Tactical errors right there.
Tactical error. So just there, who was that? Full name. I'll bleep it out.
I'm not going to say.
I'll bleep it out. Just go ahead, say it. Full name,
Okay.
address if you've got it, and I'll bleep it all out.
I don't. We never once hung out.
Yeah. Okay.
Just gonna
First name at least. First name at least.
I'll bleep it out.
You're not going to.
I might. I might bleep it out.
It was.
I don't know who that is.
That sounds fake.
Yeah, I don't believe you. That sounds like bullshit. That sounds like
Fake-ass
bullshit.
name.
I'm leaving that in because I don't believe
Never
you.
I've never heard of a before.
Yeah. What kind of fucking name is that?
That's not a real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
I'm
you
gonna
just said
shift
Jeff,
to my other
man.
story.
Okay,
now.
so what's your next one? Yeah. That one was painful. Painful.
So when I was a
Wayne,
kid,
all we've done is tell you stories where we failed. You're like,
I tried to come with such a positive
this
segment.
is positive. Well, look, comedy comes out of struggle. So when I was a kid, the big company was BioWare. You guys gamers, you know BioWare?
They did. Wait,
Knights
what
of the Old Republic was a classic game. Mass Effect. Yeah. So all these great role-playing storytelling games.
Oh yeah.
And I was a kid. I loved video games. I was probably like a young teenager. And my dad knew one of the people that worked there because he's a professor and he does theater and stuff. And they called him in to give a talk to their like studio about storytelling and script writing and how to make interesting decisions in media. And I got to come along, and it felt so cool to like, I got to visit the main office of this company whose games I loved and all of this.
In Edmonton?
Maybe it was in Edmonton. I can't remember. It might have been.
They're Edmonton-based company. Yeah,
yeah, it probably was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was that like, it was very cool. My dad showed up. I think he did a good talk. And the people that worked there didn't give a shit. They were like, he was like talking about like dialogue in Death of a Salesman and how like effective it was. And they were like, that play's boring. Like they were just like kind of.
We fucking make aliens.
Yeah. They're like, do you know how many salesmen die in our universe every day? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, it's just merchants can't die in this game because then you wouldn't be able to buy more resources.
Right, exactly.
But that's really cool because imagine that, that's like as a kid, right? So, you're going to Nintendo, like you're going to BioWare, like that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, exactly. Wayne, do you have any stories that are like this for you?
I got like a lot. I got a lot, actually.
I feel like you gave me a bunch in the short time that we hung out, but like, what's the
That's like all I got is this.
What's your best?
Your life has been coincidentally being let upwards as you go on. Is that what you're saying? You sort of had doors open for you happily every time.
Yeah. I feel like I've been that guy a lot of times when I'm with somebody and then they have a huge hookup and they're like, yeah, we'll bring Wayne along. Like, let's bring Wayne in. Like, Wayne's cool. You know, Wayne's cool. We'll let him in. Or like, I'm a big guy. They're like, oh, Wayne will be the security for the moment or something.
Sure.
You know, like I've got in a number of different ways. I've sort of found my way in.
Right.
Okay, I'll do two. I'll do
yeah.
two. One is recent, like only a few months ago, and then one was a few years ago in LA. So the one in LA, I'll do that one first. So I've not only do I enjoy hockey, but I played my whole life. Mm-hmm. So I was playing in LA, mm-hmm. and playing hockey in LA is really interesting because everybody on your team is like working in the Hollywood industry.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It's not like playing hockey in Winnipeg or Edmonton where everybody's like has jobs of that city, right? It's jobs of LA. So you have producers and sound engineers and stuntmen and actors and celebrities and stuff, right? And so the one of the bigger skates to get on is the Jerry Bruckheimer skate on Sunday. That's kind of like the big celebrity skate to get on.
Sure.
And so it was through that skate or maybe another one that was run by another producer that I met this one kid named Liam, and he was a very good hockey player. He was, we got on the ice and he's really good. And I'm like, okay, this kid's awesome. We're playing. And then after the dressing room, kind of people are talking about, oh, I heard that thing about your sister in the news. And I'm like, this guy's got to be somebody. So I kind of like looked on the roster to see who it was. And it was like Liam Stewart. And I was like, interesting, Stewart. I wonder what that is. And then somebody was like, oh, you're going to your dad's show. And I was like, oh, this is Rod Stewart's son, Liam Stewart, right? Cool. So I'm like, and I was a big fan of Rod Stewart growing up.
My mom loves Rod Stewart.
Yeah, my parents listened to him, so I knew all those songs. And so we go to, so I get to know Liam quite well. He's such a down-to-earth, cool kid, amazing hockey player randomly. And so we end up going to Las Vegas one time to go see his dad perform. And so I'm going with Liam. And, through the hockey camaraderie is how, you become friends with someone. And then that inherent, like you score a couple of goals together, you have this inherent brotherhood and this kinship, right? Sure. Which is then like, cool, we're friends, so you skip a bunch of the formalities that way and just become friends. Yeah. So I went with him, another one of his friends, and another hockey player, and we're with him. So it's like, hey, after the show, we're gonna go meet Rod, right? So we watch the show, and he's younger too. He's probably 10 years younger than me. So I feel like I know more of his dad's songs.
You're
than
like, I'm a bigger Rod
I'm like,
Stewart
the rhythm
fan.
of my heart. I'm just blasting it all.
He
The
doesn't know
other
what
guys
it
are like,
is.
yeah, the other guys are like, what is this?
It's
It's your dad, bro. This is your dad.
Gucci gang.
Gucci gang.
Why did you wear so much Gucci? Actually, there is a Gucci part to this. So concert ends. I'm having the time of my life, crushing back whiskeys, just having a blast.
Yeah.
So Liam's mom is a New Zealand model named Rachel Hunter, who was in that Stacy's mom is got it going on. That's
the video?
her in the video. Right?
Oh, so she's
she's a super. She's Stacy's mom. So she's a super famous New Zealand supermodel, and that's Liam's mom. So it's just like crazy. So her sisters or something are in front of us and turning around and singing with me. So concert ends. We go backstage. First we go on the stage, and what Rod does, he's a big soccer fan. So he signs these soccer balls and then kicks them out into the crowd.
Right.
So we all get a signed soccer ball.
Cool.
And then we go in the back and we're with Liam, and then there's a few people in there, and I'm like, there's like, it's more like handlers and stuff like that are kind of in there making sure things are right. And then I just see off to the side, there's this one room, and there's a gentleman in there, and I'm like, holy shit, that's Michael Douglas, right? And it's just Michael Douglas is just standing there, and he looks at me, and he's like, who the fuck
That's
is that?
Wayne Jones.
Right? He goes and thinks to me, who the fuck is that? And he's there with probably his granddaughter or something.
Yeah,
and I'm just staring at him. It's like he's probably where this closet is. That's how far away he is from me. It's like a sliding door, and I'm just staring at Michael Douglas. Like I feel like I'm in a movie. Like when you look at Michael Douglas in person, you just think you're in a movie because that's the only way you've ever taken Michael Douglas in.
Yeah, it's just he's always cinematic. He's got cinematic.
Yes, he's
vibes.
always cinematic.
Yeah.
He's cinematic vibe, and he looked at me and kind of gave me this smirk and this hey hello, and I was like, what movie am I in right now? You know, and then I think he was like, close the door to one of the handlers, and then they closed the door. They closed the doors to like this much room that I'm like looking through still, like trying to see Michael Douglas, and then Rod. Yeah, and then Rod comes in and he has to deal with some of the handler stuff first. He says hi to Michael, of course, shakes his hand, watching that. Then some lady comes over, gives him this pair of Gucci shoes. And then Gucci Gang comes on. But gives him this pair of like custom Rod Stewart Gucci shoes. So it's like Gucci shoes with like some custom Rod Stewart thing on the side of them. And they open them and everybody looks at them and like claps and they're all happy. And I'm like, yo, this is some fucking rich people shit. Like, this is insane. I've never seen. Like,
here's a pair of shoes with your name on it.
Yeah, from the house of Gucci.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I'm like, holy fuck, this is the 1% right now, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
So he does that stuff, and then he comes over and meets us all, and I tell him, oh, I'm a big fan. Rhythm of my heart's my favorite song, and he probably was just like, cool, whatever. I heard this a million times. You know, but then I get a photo with him, and he said, "You guys are all here with Liam." Yeah, really cool. But he's like, "Yeah, you guys are all here with Liam, right?" And he's just in his voice, and you're just like, when a celebrity's that big, it's like I said, it's like it feels kind of like a dream a bit because it's sometimes they can be so big where they feel like inaccessible, right?
Right.
But so you're just like, whoa, like this is like a fucking dream. So yeah, I got to meet Rod Stewart that night, get a photo, hang out with him for a bit, and
that's cool, man.
That was, and then we went directly to the nightclub after that, and then I think I told you before, Kevin, I had a friend who was Steve Aoki's manager, and he's from Winnipeg. His name's Dougie Bohe. He's from Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's right.
And so then we went right into Steve Aoki's DJ booth at this huge Vegas nightclub and did that. So and I was just like, it was just nonstop ejaculation. It was just ejaculating hookups all night.
Yeah, coming the whole time. Yeah,
the whole time.
That's incredible, man. That's a hell of a night. That's like Rod Stewart and then Steve Aoki. And also just a Michael Douglas cameo is very nice. I like that for Michael Douglas, that story for you is like idolizing, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this guy. And for him, he's like, this guy's annoying the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Close the door. Keep him the fuck away from me. Yeah. But that's incredible.
And then this wasn't even part of it, but I'll quickly tell this story because this part's crazy too. Maybe a few weeks later, we play hockey again. Yeah. And, after you play hockey, you often go to the bar for a beer or a burger or whatever. Yeah. So we're thinking about what to do. And Liam's like, you want to go to the casino? I'm like, cool. So we go to the Hollywood Park Casino, just Liam and I. Okay. We get there, we walk in, and as we're walking in, looking kind of like how you look right now, Kevin, a disheveled man comes and sells me a timeshare. No, a disheveled Norm Macdonald is walking right towards me. Walking right towards me with like crumbs on his shirt and stuff. And he clearly has just played he clearly has just played like 16 hours straight of poker or something. Right? Because he has that look. Like, I don't know if you ever played poker
just like
before.
Just like a 1,000-yard stare of just like, I've been sitting at that table.
He walks up and he's just like, and I walk right up to him like, hey Norm, what's going on? I'm Wayne. I'm from Canada. I'm down here doing comedy in LA. I'm from Canada. Yeah. Whereabouts? I'm like, Edmonton. I lived in Edmonton one time for a few months. 1971. And it started going off, and we're just in it now. And I'm looking at Liam. I'm like, do you know who this guy is? He's like, no, I don't know who this is. This guy's like fucking Canadian comedy legend. Like, this is Norm Macdonald. Like, holy shit. Like, and that. that's indicative of my time in LA. You know, it's peppered by these moments of holy fuck, this guy's right here, right?
Yeah.
So we end up talking to Norm for a while, and Norm's a sports fan, so I tell him about Liam because Liam played junior hockey in Spokane in the WHL. He's a really good player. So Norm's a fan. He started talking about this, and then we decide to all go play blackjack together. And then I sat down beside Norm Macdonald. Talking about, I'm trying to pitch him on improv, like my improv, and coming to do a festival with me. I didn't know he was probably terminally ill at that moment.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Because I think he passed away a year and a half, or a couple years later.
Right.
But I got his email and everything, and was like trying to plan this big thing later. But we sat down and played poker, and he said blackjack. He said he'd been having bad luck earlier at poker.
Yeah.
And as we sat there, he won like $1,500.
Norm Macdonald
I lost like $400. I lost every hand, and Norm won every single hand beside
Norm
me. It was
stole
like
from you.
he was getting so happy. He loved me because he's like, this fucking guy's losing everything, and I'm winning everything. I was his good luck charm. So see, it's a theme, right? Michael Douglas, I'm sort of creepy.
Yeah.
I'm sort of creepy in the way, but I'm also There's also something good happening there.
That's awesome. I also saw Norm Macdonald at a casino in Winnipeg, but he was performing there.
Oh, okay.
But that was the one time I ever ran into him.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, he was cool though, man. He was so down to earth. He's just exactly who he is.
I auditioned for a TV show that Norm Macdonald voiced a hole on. There was a TV show that shot in Winnipeg that there was a hole in the ground that was voiced by Norm Macdonald. I auditioned. That's my closest I've been to Norm. So I guess we all have our own brushes with fame.
Maybe we should do one more segment, Kevin, to finish this off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Woo! YouGun Learn Today. Participants must look up some posts on Reddit. Today I learned. So I'll bring this up.
You're gonna bring that up for us, T? Okay.
Let me share my screen.
We're gonna learn something today.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Today I learned 2 days before Britain declared war on Germany in 1939, the BBC was taken off air with little warning, the last program to be shown being a Mickey Mouse cartoon. The government was concerned that the VHF transmissions would act as a beacon to enemy aircraft that could bomb London.
What?
There's a lot there.
Yeah, that's a very dense, bad poll, Thomas.
Okay. Let's
try again.
It's just the Mickey Mouse part that fucked me up. Like I was kind of that part is what I keyed in on.
It seems like it was important, but it really wasn't, to be honest. No.
These all kind of suck.
This is a terrible subreddit.
I feel like these are too obscure, so I might go to top of all time and see.
Yeah, let's go top of all time. Let's see what's going on.
Number one.
Yeah.
During an interview with Stephen Hawking, the camera operator yanked a cable, causing an alarm, and Hawking to slump forward. Worried they had killed him, everyone rushed over to find Hawking giggling at his own joke. The alarm was from an office computer losing power.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
Did I tell you guys this, that Wanda Sykes was the person who told me that Stephen Hawking was dead in LA? That's my celebrity story. Did I say this on the podcast, Kevin?
I know we talked about it. I don't remember if we talked about it on the air. I think you might have mentioned it to Shannon. So I feel like it might be on the next episode.
Came up literally last episode.
That's about to come out. Yeah.
You and Wanda were just having breakfast in LA.
Thomas is really tight with Wanda Sykes of all people.
I was serving her at the Waffle House, and she told
me that white boy?
Stephen Hawking. She was at an open mic, but I literally talked about this last week. So it wasn't an open mic; it was obviously a show. She's not going to do open mics. Anyway, today I learned that the Animal Planet reality series River Monsters ended because star Jeremy Wade was able to catch essentially every exceptionally large freshwater fish species on Earth, leaving no remaining content for the show.
Can you imagine that? He goes into the boardroom. They're like, "Hey, what are we going to do next season?" He's like, "I got bad news, guys. We found them all. That's all." He did the Pokemon thing. He caught them all. Yeah, he did.
I feel like and someone's like, "We are working on a potential a replacement theory of a mechanized river monster."
Yeah.
we'll pretend it's a real monster, a la Jaws.
Yeah, a computer generated.
Just trying to keep another season going.
Yeah, they'll get a CGI monster in for him.
Inventing like taping a fin to the back of a house cat. Like, we caught this.
Oh,
This is crazy.
what's this one's?
just throw me in there with a bunch of scales on me.
Yeah. It's the Gucci Gangosaurus. Yeah. Be afraid. Be very afraid. What's the last most interesting thing you've read so far on your team?
So Genghis Khan would marry off a daughter to the king of an allied nation. Then he would assign his new son-in-law to military duty in the Mongol Wars, while his daughter took over the rule. Most sons-in-law died in combat, giving his daughters complete control of these nations. So he was like creating girl bosses like all over the globe. That's kind of Genghis Khan's legacy in a way.
Are you trying to invert the take on Genghis Khan and make him sort of an icon of feminism? I don't know.
Yeah, ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He was certainly something. I don't know if he was necessarily better for I don't know if that was
well, you know what? Good for him. That's all I'll say.
Good for Genghis Khan.
Good for old Genghis.
Genghis? I don't think you got on a first name nickname basis with that like incredibly.
I appreciate your work, sir.
Are you trying
come
to
on
talk?
the podcast if you're listening?
Do you just because you are dead doesn't mean that other dead
I'm
people
not
can
dead. I'm
You're
just
dead.
really
You're a
sick.
corpse.
I have hives, and there are scabs like emerging on my chest, but I'm not dead.
Thomas, go to a doctor. I know you're in America and healthcare is way worse there, but go
That's a
to
low blow, Kevin.
Thomas, was this part of the stand-up routine that you did when that girl came to watch you?
Well,
That might have been why it didn't work. I have scabs. Okay?
Yeah, to be fair, I had a tag about the open sores on my ass, but other than that, I feel like it was clean.
Yeah. I can't figure out where I lost her. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. I did a tight 5 on my various STIs, but she, I don't know, just left.
That's our show. Wayne, is there anything you would
show.
like to plug?
This is going to come out in a couple of weeks, Wayne. Is there anything to give you the specific date that it's going to come out on? So boom. I think we're looking at the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. November 27th is coming out on. Is there any shows you have after November 27th right now that you're like?
Yeah, if anybody's in Edmonton at the end of the year, I always do a big end of the year comedy special. It's a nice show because we raise a bunch of money for the homeless community and buy all these winter clothes because, as you guys know, being in the prairies is absolutely freezing at some point. So
Terrible.
It's December 28th or 29th.
Just try not to like share politics on the show, though, is the one thing. Like, we just try.
My bad.
It's just because we try to keep it kind of apolitical. So
but Thomas, he's talking about helping people who are
I just think just try to keep it neutral. You have a comedy show, that's fine.
Neutral about that, right? It's just a good thing to do. So you don't want to be like.
It just felt a little loaded to me.
Yeah. And so I would really appreciate your vote in the next election. But yeah, so that'd be end of the year comedy special. If anybody wants to get in touch, I also do shows like in Toronto all the time, around Canada, and all that information's on my Instagram, which is White Rhino Wayne. So that's all I want to plug. But that's about it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
While we're wrapping up, Wayne, can you pull out your phone, go to the podcasts app, and give 5 stars to Oops All Segments? That sure would help us out a lot. And while Wayne is doing that, if you're listening, you should do the same, because
if you want to be like Wayne Jones, go see Michael Douglas somewhere where he doesn't want you to see him.
Yeah.
And then hit 5 stars on Oops All Segments. I borrowed my mom's phone when she was at Dreamland Diner most recently, and I gave her I gave her a sort of scornful look, and she said, "Hey Kevin, did I correctly adjust my rating?" And she moved it from a 3-star to a 4-star. So
we're getting closer.
We're slowly getting better in my mom's eyes.
How did she
but
do
I fixed
4?
it. So
wait, what happened?
She just doesn't know, man. She
won't go to the 5, eh?
No,
Look,
she just.
You got it. No, nothing is perfect. There's always room to grow.
Yeah. My mom subscribes exclusively to Patriot Radio. No,
Thank you for listening. Please rate us. Listen to our other show, What We Do in the Basement. It's an actual play D&D podcast with a bunch of funny folks. You can also submit segments We are definitely running low. We could use some more segments. So
yeah, I might
hit
even
us
go
up,
into the
please.
comments of the Jake and Amir video where their fans are submitting segments and steal them. I might steal them.
Yeah. We
Because
can
they're
just take
stealing
them.
from us.
There's
So-
nothing wrong with theft, obviously. So let's just do it.
Obviously not. Obviously, theft is fine. That's why we're taking
Yeah.
Wayne's tires, and that's why they're taking our show. If you are in Winnipeg and you want to see Thomas and I in the flesh, in person, doing improv comedy on December 30th, you can check us out at the Basement. Club Soda Improv is going to be doing a show there. I'll keep links to that in the description. You'll catch myself and Thomas and all of our other fun friends, Jesse and Luke and Kim. Kim's coming for that show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wicked. So yeah, we'll have the whole cast of characters.
He'll be there too.
Go be there as well.
Guys, gonna
Back
give
in
me
the
one
day.
last shot.
One last
We'll
chance.
see.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to address and Thomas one more time. You said that she lives at. Is that
That's
right?
my parents' address. Bleep
Yeah.
that as well.
I'm not
please.
gonna. I might. Wayne, thank you so
Goodbye.
much for coming on the show.
This is over.
Thank you,
the
gentlemen.
show is over. Play the fucking song. It's
I
over.
will, but that's
Play
in
the
post.
song. Hit
It's
the
in
button.
post.
I waste my time on this girl. She really blows my mind. She takes me for a whirl, but she's always taken the night before. I'm getting sloppy seconds, yeah, 'cause she's such a whore.